Okay, so let's get started. We have our wok that has been pre-treated with the pan. We'll turn our burners on to high because we want this to cook as fast as possible without burning it, so just get it nice, as hot as possible. Okay, so we're going to dump our broccoli in. In they go. You can have them in big chunks, little chunks, it really doesn't matter. For me, I like to have them in bigger chunks. I just cut them up when they're nice and tender when this is done. Okay, so this is going to cook up for a couple of minutes, really. If you're using frozen vegetables, it might be a little bit of a different story, but this nice fresh broccoli will only take a little bit of time. So, to add the flavor, we will come in here with roughly a tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil. Now you can use any kind of oil, almond oil, avocado oil, peanut oil, but I think olive oil has a nice lipid profile and it definitely gives it the most balanced flavor, I think. Unless you're trying to put an Asian or an Indian spin on it, I wouldn't use sesame oil or peanut oil too much. Okay, so that is getting going right there. So the reason we use the wok here, or why I would use the wok, is because basically everything is localized to the center where we can get a bunch of oil on all of the broccoli and a nice even distribution. So once all of the broccoli heads have been coated, we can go in with our onions, dump that down. Now we will season it up with a little bit of black pepper and a little bit of granulated garlic. Again, this is just a personalized little aspect of it. You can put the chopped onion if you like. You can put chipotle, whatever you like. But for me, I like a little bit of onion. Gives it a nice rounded flavor. So next we're going to put in the eggs, and now because we already have an ample supply of the healthy fat, I think putting in the egg yolks would be a mistake here and might lead to a little bit of lethargy. So we're going to go with just strictly the whites. So here we have 5 egg whites down into the pan. And try and get everything nice and coated here so everything's homogeneous. Nice little bit here. We can go ahead and cover this, let it cook up a little bit. But this is just a simple example of making a quick breakfast, lunch, dinner in a matter of 5 minutes, and we don't have to sacrifice the nutritional value exactly. As you can see, there's no wheat, there's no flour, there's no rice, there's no grains. These are foods that can assimilate into blood sugar quite quickly, and none of those foods are in here. Simply natural ingredients that will leave blood sugar and blood insulin at basal levels while actually feeding ourselves with nice ample supply of healthy fat, lean, well-balanced protein that will definitely be able to replenish our body after the workouts, stimulate muscle growth, and actually fat burning. I'm sure some of you are cringing back home and saying, well, that's a lot of fat. You just put in a whole tablespoon for just one omelet, and then he's going to put cheese on top of that. Well, actually, all that fat, because it's polyunsaturated, is actually going to stimulate the processes of beta oxidation, which is what's happening inside your muscles, inside their mitochondria, and that they're using the oxygen to break down all the fat in this meal and are actually going to continue and carry on that motif onto the stored body fat. So we're kind of killing 2 birds in 1 stone here, building muscle and burning fat. Okay, so it's been a couple minutes. It's getting a nice skin on the bottom there, so we'll just flip it. As you can see, it's about halfway done. Those broccoli heads are getting a little bit of a golden tinge, and so are the onions from the olive oil. Okay, and so the eggs are almost done. And now the next and finishing step is we want to take our low-fat Swiss cheese and just dollop it over the top there. And basically just sweat down the cheese so that it can get nice and gooey all over the broccoli, all over the eggs and the onions, and it'll bring it all together and give it that down-home, home cooking type feeling, and yet we're eating extremely healthy. So I think that's the key integral ingredient of this whole dish. So we will just let that steam down a little bit, turn the heat down, and in a couple minutes you have it all set up and you're ready to have your breakfast or lunch. So I thank you for joining me again on the Delicious and Nutritious show. I look forward to all your input, all your ideas, whatever you guys would like to see me cook. I would love to cook for you in a healthy manner. And so next time you think that you can eat healthy and delicious at the same time, think again, because this is a proven example that you can have your cake and eat it too. So I'll see you next time. Cheers.